Hello, my creatures of the night. It is I, King Beanie. And today, we finish 1999. The year 2011 has hit in the story. And he's interested in one more tape. Well, let's find out what potentially is on that tape. If it is found. Update January 21st, 2011. It has been a long year for me. University has been giving me the usual sleepless nights, especially since I transferred to Ottawa, which is a place to party. But now, I'm back home with my dad in Brampton, the town I grew up in. I got home on the 18th of December, and have been visiting with friends and family. Or at least that's what I would rather have done. Now that the festive holiday cheer that I usually have at this time of the month is absent, to answer the hundreds of emails and comments I got. Yes, I did see the tapes that my dad's friend promised to show me. These tapes, however, act as a curse. I want to know more, yet I want to forget everything. I couldn't help it. I needed to see those tapes. Not only for myself, but for all of you guys who are as just intrigued as I am by that ominous man in a bear suit from my past. However, after viewing those tapes, I feel that pit of dread deep inside me once again. That feeling where I know that all those kids in those videos are dead. That I could have been one of those kids. And that humanity is a dark, dark place. If you haven't skipped this paragraph for the juicier details below, thank you for listening to my rambling. On January 1st, I called Mitchell Wilson and asked if there was a time where I could come by and view the tapes. Things were pretty slow at the station because of the snowstorm. So, he said I could come by anytime that day. The tapes were located at a branch not too far from me, so I braved the slushy roads and terrible Brampton drivers and made my way to the Peel Regional Police Station, located at the Bramalea City Center. I met Wilson at the front desk, where he then led me up to the second floor and into a small office. He instructed me to have a seat and wait while he went and got the tapes. Before leaving the office, he turned to me and said, "I know you're curious, but are you sure you want this?" Of course I did, or at least I thought so. Besides, Wilson's friend had pulled a lot of strings to get me in there, and I didn't want to waste the opportunity. This particular station had 2 tapes on hand. I was only able to watch a few minutes of footage. However, because the second tape was apparently too damaged to be played on a VCR. Mr.Bears Cellar, Episode 30. Mr. Bear never ceases to disturb me, especially after what almost happened when I was younger. This episode took place outside a forest at dusk, making it slightly hard to see, especially considering the quality of the film. A trademark of anything from Caledon Local 21. The episode started with the camera being held in the paws of Mr. Bear, aiming it at himself. That bear mask, it looked more sinister in the shadows of the trees. The unmistakable muffled voice spoke up today.
Hello, children. Today I will be doing a wonderful thing for my friends. I will be delivering them to a faraway land where they will surely be happy.
Mr. Bear turned the camera around to show an ATV with an attached trailer. But what stood out the most was the trailer contained 7 motionless children lying side by side.
This here is the first load, but more will be on their way soon.
Mr. Bear turned around and pointed the camera at a large burlap tarp spread on the ground. He picked up the tarp, revealing a large hole that must have been at least 12 feet deep and maybe about 15 feet wide. The rest of the episode consisted of Mr. Bear taking each kid and dropping them into the hole. I asked Wilson if they were dead, to which he shook his head and replied, "Not yet." As soon as all the kids were in the pit, some were in awkward positions due to being tossed in, but they remained unconscious.
The vitamin C will surely help these children on the great journey that awaits them.
Mr. Bear mentioned as he panned the camera towards multiple bottles of gasoline beside a bush. The camera zoomed in onto the bottles as Mr. Bear hummed before the episode ended. Wilson revealed to me that these were 7 of the 16 victims found burnt to a crisp. The gasoline is what the man playing Mr. Bear used to light them on fire. A pit full of burning children. Who the fuck would do that? The feeling of dread found me once again when I realized that I could have been one of those kids. Wilson then explained to me that he had previously lied. The other tape confiscated by the Bramalea police branch did indeed work and contained the filming of the actual burning. However, he felt that I wouldn't have been able to handle the disturbing and graphic nature of the episode. And you know what? Maybe I can't. I don't even want to see it. I'm satisfied for now. But I just need some time to get myself together. The thing is, the man who ran Caledon Local 21 is still out there. More to come soon. Elliot. Henry.
Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Elliot. Elliot was a clever boy who loved playing with his friends. One day he watched a lovely television show about a bear and its children friends. The children love helping each other, as good children should. But they also love the bear. The bear loved the children, since the children were so good at helping him and the fallen angel. The children and the bear wanted to play together forever with the help of their angel friend. But the fallen angel needed even more help. So the children had to give the ultimate sacrifice. Because that's what friends do, Elliot. They help each other. Help us, Elliot. Burn with us, Elliot. I want you, Elliot. He wants you, Elliot. Come back to my cellar. Pretty please with sugar and icing on top. Mr. B.
Henry. Update, April 5th, 2011. I wanted to update more. I truly did. However, certain circumstances had turned me off the whole Caledon Local 21 thing. I've since then had hundreds of emails about my blog, and was even in contact with the magazine about my story. But now is the time to come clean to everyone, where I have been for an entire year. The story of Pandora's box is true, and I opened it. I opened it when I watched the second tape in possession of the Bramalia Police Branch. The other subject I'd like to address is the number of fake emails I've been getting from people claiming to me Mr. Bear. Let's start with the second tape, as that is what traumatized me into stopping my search temporarily. After a few weeks of playing silent, I decided to ask Mitchell Wilson if I could view that infamous second tape he had talked about. I don't know why. I just felt that viewing that tape would give me some closure. Wilson was obviously reluctant to show me, but I was persistent. He gave me an offer. If I was still interested by the time I turned 20, he would show me the tape. Not being able to do much else, I just played the waiting game. By the time my 20th birthday rolled around, I was definitely still interested in viewing the tape. I gave Wilson a call, during which he admitted that he had hoped that I would forget about him asking me that. But I was not taking no for an answer. You really don't need to see it, he kept telling me. But I did need to see it. I had to at this point. Sure enough, he invited me to the Bramalia branch one Monday afternoon. Having watched every Saw film and a video of animal slaughterhouses in my ethics class, I was sure I would be able to handle whatever the tape could throw at me. How naive I was. Mr. Bear's Cellar, Episode 31. When Wilson went to collect the tape from evidence, The officer in charge of the evidence room shook his head at me, his face saying, "What are you doing?" Wilson explained that this tape includes the last known episode from Mr.Bears' cellar. I rightfully assumed that I would be seeing the fate of the children, and began to feel a sense of dread. The episode opened up inside a forest, the usual one from the previous episodes. The fact that it took me a while to realize, because it was night, the trees and leaves just looked like shapes dancing around in darkness. A faint glow of light was present on the right side of the screen. There wasn't any apparent audio. It appeared to be a windy night, yet the trees weren't making any noise. Slowly, the camera began to pan towards the glow, revealing smoke rising from a hole. When the tips of the flame were peeking over the top, Wilson paused at this point. "Are you sure you want to see this?" He asked me. I insisted on it, even though a voice in my head was telling me not to. The video continued. The cameraman moved towards the hole, showing a pit of fire that was the hole that I seen in the previous episode. Only this time, it was filled with shapes. I could see shapes moving around, fluttering, flailing, some motionless. I knew perfectly what they were. The camera began to adjust to the light, and burning flesh, red, black, blur of surreal movement and colors. I wish I could forget what I saw, but you can't forget a scene like this. This was not a horror movie. This was reality. Human beings were being killed in a horrifying way. A fate that I could have potentially met. The video suddenly cut to dawn. The camera now positioned further away from the hole. The fire was out. However, there was still smoke rising up. A figure was up ahead. I recognized it right away. The Mr. Bear suit was laid out on the ground, empty. It looked just as unnerving. The suit was laid out in the shape of a cross. The cameraman did a lap around the suit, treating it like it was a treasured artifact. Placed in the head of the suit was a sign. In bold letters, INRI was printed. The cameraman moved back to the end of the suit, zooming in on the bear's face. The episode finally ended. I was speechless. It was like a dream. You can find a lot of terrible things on the internet, but I had never seen anything like this. Wilson asked if I was okay, and I replied with a shaky, yes. I assured him, as we left, that I was fine, and that the video gave me some closure over the whole incident. He didn't seem too confident in me, but he left it at that. He was right, though. I had nightmares for weeks. I gave up. I didn't care about the whole thing anymore. A sick man burned a bunch of kids alive, attracting them with fake kids TV channel. I could have been one of his victims, yet I'm still here. I suppose I should be grateful, but I feel guilty. Am I still here only by pure luck? 10 months later, I'm back. Now I need to address something else. My email has been flooded with messages. Some people ask for more details. Some ask if I can upload the tapes. And some people email me claiming to be Mr. Bear. First, I cannot get the tapes uploaded as they're A, in police possession as evidence, and B, I have no idea how to transfer VHS onto a computer. As for people pretending to be Mr. Bear, you're not fooling me. When you have dozens of people pretending to be the same person, it doesn't work. I even seen a fake Caledon Local 21 YouTube channel, which is cute, but still not real. Even more annoying is the fact that someone hacked my account just to put up some demented poem about me on this blog. I'll leave it in the entry above this one, just to show you guys. I have contacted my webmaster about the entry, and was told it was posted on Halloween. Ooh, spooky. Attached to the email, paintwithb@aol.com, which I assume is another joke email. I'm over episode 31 now. The images of what I saw will stick with me for a while. But I want to do one last hurrah. I will get into contact with Mitchell Wilson again, and hopefully get set up with the tapes in the possession of the other PL police branches. I'll try to update you guys as soon as I can. I'm sure this won't take so long again. Thank you to everyone who still reads this. Elliot. Now we have seen not just the mind games Mr. Bear has played, but what happened on those days. A horrifying tale of sacrifice. Was it to Satan, or to some other fallen angel? Well, who knows what happened in Mr. Bear's crazy mind. If you're interested, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all join me next week, because I'll have another story going up. And this time, it won't be as long. Enjoy.